Hi, kids. Let's go over chapter 2. Just a reminder from chapter 1, a little review here. If it says down here at the bottom of the page, if it says chapter 2, pages 39 to 40, that means that you're going to be responsible for answering questions and knowing content that we do not cover in any of our discussions. You'd be going to do that on your own. These are the things that you would be able to answer after you got done with the slideshow. And these are the vocab words that will pop up on a quiz or vocab words that you will need to use when explaining concepts from chapter 2. So in chapter 2, we're talking about allocation questions and then how different economic systems answer them. So allocation questions, simple. What are you going to make? How are you going to make it? And for whom are you going to make it? The book uses an example of corn or soybeans. What are you going to make? Well, you don't know anything about corn or soybeans or farming, and neither do I. But what I do know is that I would make whichever one of those you think that you can make the most money on. I would make whichever one of those two you have the resources and or the knowledge to make. How are you going to make them? The book uses an example of a tractor or a plow. Okay, well, which one do you have access to? Which one is going to do the work more efficiently? Which one can you afford? And then for whom to produce. So corn, you can take corn and turn it into ethanol fuel, or you can take corn and grow it to sell to, like, say, grocery stores. Which one are you going to do? Well, me, being such a sharp businessman and knowing that the only thing in life that matters is money, uh, I'm going to sell whichever one of those I can make for the most money. If I'm going to make more money selling to the grocery store, sign me up. More money to a gas station, sign me up there too. Now you get into the different economic systems. So we've got a traditional economy, we've got a market economy, and we've got a command economy. Okay, so in those three, how do they answer the questions of allocation, the three questions? So let's go back to the first one, traditional. This is, like you can read here in red, it's based on your religion, your customs, your values, your beliefs. Examples of them would be like a Native American tribe, an Amish community, um, people that base their decisions not on money, not what am I going to make in order to make the most money. They're going to look at allocation question 1 and say, what do I produce? I produce whatever we need. What does our group need? Okay. How do I make it? Who can help us make it? Okay. And for whom? We're going to make it for the people in our community to use, and we don't need to have any excess because we're not going to try to sell it for any type of money. This would be the least common economy that would be in existence. So we go to the second one, the market economy. That's what we have. So then you break it down here, looking at the bullet points, the allocation questions. Well, who decides what to make? We do. Individually, we decide what we can make. And as long as it's not illegal, like drugs, or like semi-automatic weapons, then we can make whatever it is that we think that we want to make, that we can sell. Who owns the property? Okay, don't confuse this. Private property is a core principle of a market economy. It means you own it. It's yours. You own your business and you get to do what you want on that property. It's not going to be public property like it would be in a command economy. Think of like private versus public. Private would be your house. You get to do what you want with it. Public would be like a park. Park, you don't. You can use it, but it's not yours to do whatever you would like with. Social goal. The idea of a market economy is that we give people real freedom and incentive, meaning our system is set up, and there's always exceptions. That our system is set up so that the hardest working people are going to make the most money, meaning that if you really decide that you're going to be a hard worker, you're going to be the one that's rewarded. It's not going to be everybody gets the same thing like a command economy. Examples of these would be our country. Japan would be a good example. Germany would be a good example. Whereas we really, really encourage individual people to open up businesses because that leads to job creation. It leads to more products being available, and that makes it a more desirable place for people to live. The third one here, and this is going to be a video that I'm going to post on Amazon for you. The third one is called the command economy. Command economy is where the government, or what the book will call the state, will answer all these allocation questions. Meaning, what are you going to make? Well, whatever the government thinks that you should make, that's what they're going to tell you. They're going to be the ones that own all of the businesses. So you will get to go there and you will get to do your work, but it is not your property. The problem with this is the idea of equality doesn't encourage or incentivize hard work. If I told you guys that you were going to get a C in economics class, whether you worked really, really hard or whether you didn't work hard, but all you had to do was show up, you would show up and not work hard. If I told you that you could get any grade that you wanted, and the harder that you worked, the better chance you would have to get an A, you would work hard if you wanted to get an A. The good thing about a command economy is the idea of equality. You're not going to have poor people. They're going to try to make everyone equal. The bad part is you don't have the incentive to work hard. The other bad part is under the decision-making process, people don't get any say in the decision-making, meaning they're either not making the decision themselves or they don't get to pick the people like we do through a voting process in a market economy in the United States. So then this last one here is going to be a little chart here that shows us a spectrum of far left is going to be more command, far right is going to be more market. So if we go all the way back here to the first slide here, that the way in which to differentiate between the systems is to say which way would one of those economies answer those three questions: what to produce, what would traditional and market and command say. What are you going to make? Traditional is going to say whatever our group needs. Our little small group, a free market economy like we have, they're going to say, what am I going to make? They're going to say whatever I think I can sell for the most money. A command economy, what are we going to produce? Whatever the government thinks that we need or they want us to produce. And so that's kind of an example of how you break that down. That's chapter 2 in a nutshell on the differences between the three different economies right now.